From Los Angeles, TraderInsight.com presents Dr. Adrian Manz in the war room and at the helm with today's look at stocks and sectors on the radar.
For TraderInsight.com, this is Adrian Manz, and this is Stocks and Sectors on the Radar for Tuesday, December 9th, 2008. All last week we were talking about the importance of a Friday follow-through move on the Dow Jones Industrials, the broader markets. We got it, and Monday's session, we got a 298 3/4 point move to the upside to show for it. So we closed at 89.3418 on the Dow. That leaves us in the top of the support and resistance box that we've been looking at for going on 2 months here now. We did it today on 1.75 billion NYSE total volume. We had 2,479 advancers, 686 decliners. Move was broad-based. Got it across all the indices. Now we've got S&P above 900. We've probably got room for the S&P to move up to around 1,000 before we hit resistance again. NASDAQ 100, NASDAQ Composite, same deal. Got us up, got us out. So let's see what happens. Let's see what the market can do with it. In terms of the stocks that I am going to be watching on Tuesday, why don't we have a look at some of the setups that I've got on my watch list. We've got DuPont. That's a line drive setup from the Around the Horn setups. That's going to be a 2663 or so is going to be the level at which I'm looking for a possible long side entry on this one. We've got L3 Communications. This one I'll be looking for it to come back in again. 69.15 is going to be where I'm looking for a potential short side entry. We talked about Lincoln National yesterday. If you'll recall, I had said that the test of the 50-period moving average was what I was going to be looking for on the long side. And, of course, that is exactly where the stock went. No big surprise there. It's natural support and resistance. Also confluent with a bunch of support and resistance on the daily chart. So, on Tuesday, what I'm going to look for is a possible move back down into the range here, since we had that test, and since it looks like Lincoln National's not faring so well as of the close. I'll be looking at around 1575 for a potential short side entry on this one. The other one that we looked at over the weekend was Mohawk Industries. This one's an infield fly setup. I'll be looking for a move below 35.55 on Mohawk, MHK, as a possible short sale entry point. Ralph Lauren, same kind of a setup, infield fly setup here, 48.33 or so is going to be where I'm looking for a potential short side entry. And then finally, on this set here, we've got Torchmark, which we also were looking at for a move up to the 50 period. We see here that the stock reversed just above the 50 period, and now a move below 38.40 is going to have me interested in additional downside on the stock. Now, of course, the big news on the day is this automaker stuff. So let's talk about auto stocks for a minute. It looks like the proposed bridge loan for the auto industry is going to come with some warrants that put the taxpayer in line ahead of the creditors who currently have first recourse. Now, what that means is that all the shares of GM currently in the hands of investors are going to become subordinate to shares owned by the taxpayer, and if that happens, that's going to make the automakers a pretty shaky investment going forward and put them in play on the short side again. So it's probably all said and done. It's probably a better option than sitting back and waiting for their equity to go to zero, but I'm sure that owners of common shares of GM are not super stoked about the possibilities here. Another stock worth looking at on news is FedEx. They missed expectations and they delivered questionable guidance for 2009, and they were punished after the bell. They lowered guidance to 350 to 475 versus consensus of 515. So I'm going to look for FedEx to have tradable intraday moves off pivot lines during the session on Tuesday. Those inflection points, those pivot inflections for anybody who's interested, the central pivot is going to be around 74.63. First support should be 72.32. Second support should be 70.21. We're going to have resistance up above at 76.74 and second resistance at 79.05. Now, the last thing that I'd like to look at quickly here is the commodity names. I think commodity names that look interesting going forward based on President-elect Obama's espoused plans here would be Alcoa. Alcoa had sort of a line drive move to the upside on Monday, got stuck right around the 20-period simple moving average. A pop above that number, up around $10 a share or so, is going to have me interested in the long side on that one. Then I've also got Freeport-McMoRan I'm looking at. This is another commodity play, trading above that 20-period simple moving average, trading above, say, 21.10 a share or so, is going to have me interested in the long side here. Nucor and U.S. Steel are the last two that I want to look at. Nucor broke free today, 41.98, 42.05, somewhere around there. I'm going to look at it on Tuesday for a possible long side entry. I'm going to want to see that one clear of any kind of pivot, support, and resistance that might get in my way. But otherwise, I'll be interested in a move to the upside on Nucor as well as on United States Steel Corporation. U.S. Steel's got to get above the 50 there. That's got a little bit further to go, but generally speaking, trade above 37.30, 37.40 or so is going to have me looking at this stock as well. So if anybody's got any questions, email me at adrian@traderinsight.com. Have a great trading day on Tuesday.